This is Dr. Jason West, and we're going to be talking about supplements. What is a supplement? What supplement should I be taking? A dietary supplement is a product intended for the ingestion that contains a dietary ingredient intended to add further nutritional value to a supplement. A dietary supplement may be one or any combination of the following substances: a vitamin, a mineral, an herb or other botanical, an amino acid, a dietary substance for use by people to supplement the diet by increasing the total dietary intake. So it could be a concentrate, metabolite, constituent, or extract. And dietary supplements may be found in many forms, such as tablets, capsules, soft gels, gel caps, liquids, or powders. And some dietary supplements can help ensure that you get an adequate dietary intake of essential nutrients, and others may help you to reduce your risk of disease. A dietary supplement is a product intended for ingestion that contains dietary ingredients. Now, why are supplements important? Because foods grown decades ago are much richer in vitamins and nutrients. Fast-growing foods lead to soil depletion, and a landmark study on the topic by Donald Davis and his team of researchers from the University of Texas at Austin's Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, and it was published in December 2004 of the Journal of the American College of Nutrition. They studied the U.S. Department of Agricultural nutritional data from 1950 through 1999 for 43 different vegetables and fruits and found reliable declines in the amount of protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, B2, vitamin C over the past 50 years. Now, Dr. Davis and his colleagues chalk up this declining nutritional content to the preponderance of agricultural practices designed to improve traits like the size, the growth rate, and the pest resistance other than nutrition. Quote, efforts to breed new varieties of crops that provide greater yield, pest resistance, and climate adaptability have allowed crops to grow bigger and more rapidly, close quote. But their ability to manufacture or uptake nutrients has not kept pace with their rapid growth. There has been likely declines in other nutrients such as magnesium, zinc, and vitamins B6, vitamin E, but they were not studied in 1950, and so more research is needed to find out why or how much less we're getting of these key vitamins and minerals. Now, the Organic Consumers Association cites several other studies with similar findings. A Cushy Institute analysis of nutrient data from 1975 to 1997 found that the average calcium levels in 12 fresh vegetables dropped 27%, the iron levels dropped 37%, the vitamin A levels dropped 21%, and the vitamin C levels dropped 30%. A similar study of the British nutrient data from 1930 to 1980, published in the British Food Journal, found that 20 vegetables, the average calcium content had declined 19%, iron 22%, and potassium 14%. Yet another study concluded that one would have to eat 8 oranges today to derive the same amount of vitamin A as our grandparents would have gotten from one. So what can be done? The key to healthier produce is healthier soil, and alternating fields between the growing seasons to give land the time to restore would be an important step. Also, foregoing pesticides and fertilizers in favor of organic growing methods is good for the soil and the produce and its consumers. Those who want to get the most nutritious fruits and vegetables should buy regularly from local organic farmers. Now, why is this all important? University of Texas Davis warns that just because the fruits and vegetables aren't as healthy as they used to be doesn't mean that we shouldn't avoid them, because vegetables are extraordinarily rich in nutrients and beneficial phytochemicals. They are still there, and the vegetables and fruits are our best source for these. So what are the benefits of taking supplements? And I take supplements because it pads your bets. What it does is you want to eat as healthy as possible. You want your food to be as close to the ground as possible, which means if you take a carrot or an avocado or a tomato and you eat it, it's pretty close to the ground. But if you have licorice or Twinkies or microwave dinners, it's not very close to the ground. It's just a great rule to follow. The benefits of supplements are energy and vitality. The body can heal. It gives you building blocks. And most people ask me, can I just get that stuff from my knife and fork? And the answer is, it's a great place to start. Now, are supplements regulated? Dietary supplements are considered safe until proven unsafe. And in 1994, the Dietary Supplement and Health Education Act, or the DSHEA Act, define dietary supplements as a category of food which puts them under a different regulations than drugs. They are considered safe until proven otherwise. The DSHEA says that dietary supplements cannot contain anything that may have significant or unreasonable risk of illness or injury. And when the supplement is used as directed on the label or within normal use if there are no directions on that label. Now, a dietary supplement is considered new if it contains an ingredient not recognized as a food substance unless it was sold as a supplement before 1994. If this is new, the manufacturer must provide the FDA with reasonable evidence that the new ingredient is safe before the supplement is marketed to the public. But manufacturers are not required to test new ingredients or supplements in clinical trials, which would help find risk and potential interactions with drugs or other substances. The DSHEA gives the FDA permission to stop a company from making dietary supplement, but only when the FDA proves that the product poses a significant risk to the health of Americans. This means they are found unsafe only after they cause harm. This is the reverse of the way prescription and non-prescription drugs are handled. Now, dietary supplements are usually self-prescribed, so there's no controlled system for reporting bad reactions to side effects, and doctors and patients can report problems but are not required to do so. If a supplement has an unknown side effect or interactions with other drugs, foods, or supplements, they are not likely to be discovered as quickly as those new drugs on the market. But here's the reason to take the supplements. Again, it's an addition to foods, and here's the best supplements to take. Now, I tease my wife all the time. I don't care about gray hair. I don't care about wrinkles. But if my mind goes off, we're in big trouble. And so one of my favorite recommendations for people is something called glycerophosphocholene. It's in a product. It's a mind supplement called EMC squared. It's like putting pure brain food into your system. It's also important to have minerals because minerals are more important than vitamins. Every vitamin has a mineral center. And in certain cases, your body can synthesize vitamins, but it can never synthesize minerals. Now that's not always the case for all vitamins, but that's why I think that minerals are more important than vitamins. The other supplements I really like to take are CoQ10 because it's so important for detoxification and cardiovascular health. I recommend that people either take a male hormone support or a female hormone support. And what that means is you want to give your body the building blocks to be healthy, but I really like to reserve hormone support recommendations for people where the organ just doesn't work at all. If at all possible, we don't want to give the body a hormone because in some ways it's kind of like feeding the zoo animals. Once you feed a zoo animal, it's really hard to put them back in the wild. Once your body gets on a hormone, it's really hard for that organ to start making the hormone on its own. I think it's really important to give your body liver support. It's in a product called Filter Flush, and then Ultimate Omega or omega-3 fatty acids, where you have about 4,000 to 6,000 milligrams, I think is a great baseline. It's good to support your immune system. It's also really important to take vitamin D3 or cholecalciferol. My favorite vitamin is vitamin C. I just love this vitamin. It donates electrons to the body. It helps with your energy levels. It helps with your collagen. It helps with your muscles, your cardiovascular health, your pancreas. If there was one vitamin that I could take, I was stuck on a desert island, I could only take one, it would be vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is really important to take, I believe, in a liposomal fashion, which means you take sodium ascorbate powder and you mix it with some type of fat. And when you mix it with the fat, what it does is it forms a mycel formation and it puts the vitamin inside this little protective layer of fat. And when you put it into your body, it's readily absorbed. It's almost the equivalent of getting an IV vitamin C. Then the last two things that I really like to recommend to everybody is something called SAMe, which helps with your liver, it helps with your moods and emotions, and something called Pharma-GABA, or GABA aminobutyric acid. Why it's so important is because it really helps to stabilize moods and emotions. It doesn't make you dopey or loopy. It doesn't interfere with your prescriptive medications, but it's really important for brain health. This is Dr. Jason West talking about supplements, why they're important, what supplements to take. I hope this was helpful in deciding which supplements you should be taking, giving you a background on supplements. If you perceive value in the video, make sure that you like us, and if you click the little bell, every time we send out a video, you'll be notified.